Hi everyone and welcome back to English for You. I'm Erin.
And I'm Pat.
And we're talking about the world's first road trip.
Exciting.
Now, a road trip is the idea of driving for long distances, in this one across the country, but it can be a long distance. I mean, in Canada, if you go on a road trip across the country, it's 7 days.
Yeah.
So it can just be like if you're in Canada, a road trip could be just a day and you go maybe one province over.
Yeah, you can do it in the UK, but you can include Europe because you can get on a car ferry that takes you and the car across or drive through the Channel Tunnel, and suddenly you're in Europe. So you could make it as long as you want. You could drive all the way from England to the far side of China, to Hong Kong, if you wish to.
It's quite a difficult process to do it.
I wouldn't necessarily choose that as my road trip, but you could do it. Now, this is a fun thing to do, and it's something you do as a group, but where did this idea begin? Well, one of the first road trips was made by Horatio Nelson Jackson, who was an automobile enthusiast. He loved cars.
Right. He was in a university club, and someone bet him US $50 US, that he couldn't drive across the US in an automobile. Now, when someone tells you you can't do something, the first thing you want to do is do that thing.
I'll show you.
Exactly. So this was way back in the early 1900s. And it might be an easy thing to do now, but it certainly wasn't back then.
Yeah, and $50 was a lot more money back then, so it was worth taking the bet.
Right.
Now, there were problems. Cars were a new invention. They were considered to be a plaything for rich people. So only rich people had them, and they weren't for serious work. They were just for fun.
Right.
And most regular people thought, these cars, they'll be nothing more than a fad.
Gone. Right, so the thing that we learned about cars is that back then car engines often broke down. They weren't as good as the cars that we know today, and they were difficult to repair. But Jackson didn't even know how to do it. So what he did was he found a young man called Sewell K. Crocker, and he asked Crocker to be his driver and mechanic, and they both got ready to set off. Did he do it? Let's find out.